slight explanation before I continue the project. I'm going to show parts of the case and the old card and a couple of things in there, the way it's hooked up in the back before the card actually comes in, because I don't know when it's going to come in. It'll be a part of this video, but I want to get this out of the way so I don't waste all my time trying to figure out what to say, because even though I'm doing it like this, I'm having a hard time figuring out what to say. So if you don't want to watch this beginning portion in my index, one of the titles will be "The Card Is Here," and that's where we're going to start with the new card and getting everything hooked up. All right? Here we go. All right. I just got a notification that my controller card's coming, and it's probably coming from China, so I figured, so I don't get caught off guard like I did last time, I'll show you a couple of things about the case before I do the HBA swap, okay? Everybody knows that, or most people know that, the Jonsbo N3 has these Phillips screws in there. Oh, not Phillips screws, some kind of Allen screws, okay? So what I decided to do, because I had leftovers, was use these kind of screws. Those are the kind like a lot of computer cases have, thumb screws. So I'm using those. That's one thing I'll show you, just because I want to show you. All right, so inside the case, it looks like it did before, except for this one part where I put the 8643 to 8644 adapter. Okay, it's going to go in from the side of the new card that has 16. So I can put 8 drives off the card there that are in my Jonsbo. Actually, I think I have 6 loaded right now. But I can also put 8 cards on an external also, because it's a LSI 9300 16i, okay? So here you can see the input, and I guess I'll have to flip it over a little bit. There's the output. I stuttered a little bit on my camera if you've seen that, so don't worry about that. I just kind of dropped the lamp. So there's where it's going to go, externally from this case to externally in a external hard drive case. It's going to have up to 8 drives in it. For our experiment, we're going to use only 4, but I got to wait for the card to come in anyway, but I'll just show you a couple of things, okay? One more thing I can mention, that the 8644 to 8643 card right here, see how it goes side to side? Of course, it doesn't fit inside of a slot. But luckily on the bottom, there's a, the thing where a little foot goes in from slots. It's holding it up and down, so it won't go anywhere. Just got to be careful when I put the cable in. I don't go back and forth and cause damage to something that's next to it. Last part is the card I have in there right now has 4 ports here, 4 ports on this cable, and the new card will have 2 other ports on the bottom. Now once I get the other card put in, I'm obviously not going to leave it hooked up with the 4 cables, because this is a real tight case. But I have other uses, and that'll make some fun, I guess. Something for me to do after this. So that's all for now. I'm waiting for the card to come in. I try to do this. I'm doing it by hand with a hand camera. It's not all that great, but I'm trying my best to make you guys understand what's going to happen. Okay? When I get the parts, I'll go into the next part of this thing. Then you'll see all the parts, you'll see the cables, you see that crazy controller card. I really like it. Maybe a little bit better view of the card. The 2 ports coming out, 4 each, and the cables that most of them are slinged under right into the 8643, 864 adapter. It's not too bad. All right. This is the last side view with the thumb screws. I think it was a good idea. Better than those torque screws they put in there. Drop them all over the place. This is the table I'm going to be working on. I'm still using the hand camera, so forgive this. As you can see, I got a power supply underneath the keyboard. Make sure you can see it. See it? There it is. I also got the 4-bay enclosure I'm going to be using. And the monitor. Basically, all I'm going to be doing with that monitor is showing you what the HBA says. Now, because I'm across the room, I have to use this Wi-Fi adapter, the RJ45. But it doesn't work too bad to show you what I'm going to show you. Let me put the Jonsbo up there real quick. Okay, so the Jonsbo is up. I put the keyboard on top of it. Let me show you the back. Alright, here's the back of the case. You can see I have the RJ45 Wi-Fi adapter in there. Power for that's coming from a USB. Okay. And of course, on the back of this board, I think I already showed you this, but right in the back of the board, you'll see the adapter sticking out. Looks like a regular adapter, doesn't it? Looks pretty good. Anyway, that's that. I'll probably butcher this start of the video because I don't have any assistance and I got a shaky tripod and I'm all full of excuses. See you when the card comes in. Alright, so my card is finally here. And it's a LSI 9300 16i, meaning 16 drives. So we got 4, 8, 12, 16 drives right there. Internal drives, okay? But what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to get the top two on my 9300 8i that's in there now. Take out the 8i, put the 16i in, and put the first two in here. The second one I'm going to do is I'm going to use this 8643 adapter to go to the inside of the card that's in the Jonsbo that looks like this in the back. Remember I showed you that? Okay. Then out on the other side will be an 8644 cable. That's going to tie the Jonsbo and the external bay together. Okay? So that's not too bad. Now, you notice you're saying, why is it 8 drives with one plug? This plug is some kind of a duplex because you got 2 cables here. So I guess it's doing the job for that. But while I'm talking anyway, I also got this 9361 sounds about right. Mega RAID, right? Kind of the same thing, but I'm not going to use this. This is actually an 8-drive RAID controller, an actual RAID controller. It came with a battery and the price was right. So whenever I'm going to use Windows or something like that, a big Windows box, I'll probably use that. But for right now, we're going to go with this 16i. I'm going to get it installed into the Jonsbo and see how we go from there. So here's the box I'm going to use. Watch the lights on this. That's kind of why I'm showing this. That's why I kind of like this box. I wish it would do 6 gigs. See how the lights are going? First 2, then the second 2. That's not even plugged into a computer, okay? What that is, it's powering up the drives 1 by 1 or 2 by 2 to be easy on the power supply. So the new adapter's in, and these first 2 are from the old adapter. I put them exactly where they belonged. So hopefully this is going to find the first 8 drives and still boot up the system. The third one is the one I'm using for a test. That's going to go out the back into this adapter here. And at the back of the case is the 8644 adapter. Stop. So the 8644 cable goes in the back of this other adapter, and I'm going to put this thing, an 8643 adapter, into the back here, and that's attached to the drives. It's a breakout cable. Let's see how it works. I'm only recording this part, but I'm going to stop it now until it tells me to hit Control D, okay? Because I don't know how long this is going to take. You know what I mean?
Oh, there you go.
Okay, there we go. We got 16i and 16i. I never did this controller before. Let's see what happens. If I hit the first one, hit topology. Sorry about that. Like I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, you guys figured it out already. Maybe it's the next one. Oh, it was the next one. Okay. Number one is where the drives are. So this adapter took so long to boot up and show me its BIOS that I just turned it on again. So you see my first 6 slots. I have 6 on that first 8 controller. They're showing good. Now I'm going to plug in the external bay and see what that does. And see what those settings look like. And that'll be on... I didn't even realize that. That's going to be on this 0. 16i, the first one. PCI bus 3. I don't even understand that, but that's what it is. So I'll be right back. Okay, it's initializing after I hooked up the external. Hit Control C. Got to wait for the SAS utility. I'm going to pause it again and then come back to it. Okay, I'm back into the utility, so I'm going to hit the first one. See what I got. And it's showing my 4 drives that are in the external. I think if I go to the right, I can see, and they're 3 gigs a second. Now I'm just going to reboot it into TrueNAS and see if I can do everything else right. Okay, so now I'm in TrueNAS. Let's see if I can see all those drives. I don't think I'm going to make another pool out of it, but just to see. Okay, there we go. Manage disks. You got, what do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4. You got, see these 465s right here? These 465s are the 4 hard drives that are in the second controller. So I guess what I can do if I really want to is maybe I'll make a pool out of it. Make a new pool. Nope. I said new pool, but I clicked the wrong one anyway. Okay. So let's call it John P. I failed on the last part of this video, and the reason why was because for the second time, I should have remembered the first time, TrueNAS shut off my OBS, which is the software I was using to make the videos. I never had that happen before. So, you know, I'll go around, show the dashboard, and have a good time with you guys, showing storage. And then it was the other drives that I added on the external, which you saw before. But because it shut off my OBS, I was kind of in a hard place there. So I actually used what I'm going to tell you to make this little part of the video. Okay? I got this thing from Alliance called ViewPro. You can record your videos. It plugs into HDMI. It plugs into whatever you got. It's a pass-through to the monitor so you can see what you're doing. And it records. That's the best part. It records. So I gave it a shot to see what would happen. And it actually worked out pretty good. Now, the other thing I got, well, I didn't get it actually, is just to show you, is the ClearClick. ClearClick is the same thing. Just probably some other company just, marketed it, you know what I'm saying? So if I would have used this instead of OBS, when I already knew TrueNAS was messing with me, because it's my fault probably, but they were messing with me, I would have definitely done it on here. Which is where I showed when I showed the screens when the computer was just booting up and stuff like that, I had no way to do it. That's why I picked this up. But I guess it's better than it was. Get all these inputs. There should be a better picture of this someplace. No. Got all these inputs. You got HDMI in, HDMI out, and I think the best showing might be here. There you go. It shows both sides for the one I got. See all those things that it goes into it? Right now I'm plugged into USB in. I'm sorry, HDMI in, and I'm recording this on a SD card. Anyway, I figured I'd just tell you that because I don't know why what was happening was happening. I was really so happy that the external hard drive bay thing turned out well. I wish I could have showed you more, but I guess I couldn't have. But it did make a 1.28 terabyte Pool 2 or John P2. I lost that, and by the time I figured it out, everything was already unhooked, and I wasn't about to do it again because if I don't drive everybody else crazy, I'm driving me crazy, okay? Anyway, listen. Thanks for your patience. I hope you learned something from this video. Have a good day.